Hello YouTube, this is Kyle from ParkerGamer193 and we're playing the original NES Metroid. This is all post-commentary because when I was trying to play this game live with a live Let's Play, it didn't want to behave. I kept on getting knocked around left and right, and so post-commentary. Much easier to manage and it went much better. And we just got the Morph Ball, or as it's known in this game, the Maru Mari. No clue why they picked that name, but I'm glad they changed it. Morph Ball sounds better to me. Anyway, sorry about that. Anyways, now we're going to get our first 5 missiles of the game, which we need in order to get other upgrades. So yeah, and this is going to be a 100% Let's Play, or commentary of the game. So yeah. Basically, think of this as my return to the Metroid series. Y'all remember back in where I started to do a no commentary playthrough of Metroid Prime? Well, bottom line, I don't like it, and I'd rather start fresh from the Metroid series, starting with this game. And basically the way I'm going to be organizing Let's Plays is that it's going to be in the order of the timeline, the official Metroid timeline. So after this game gets finished uploading, me and Zamir are going to be doing a Let's Play on Metroid Prime for the GameCube. I'm going to be the one playing, and Zamir's just going to be, well, there. He hasn't played Metroid Prime before, so it'll be interesting. He's heard of it, but hasn't played it. And that will also be a 100% guide. Well, I keep on wanting to say guide. It's going to be 100% playthrough. Except it's going to be live. And it's going to have all the logbook scans and all of the items. I've been doing several practice playthroughs, and I'm probably going to do another one before that Let's Play to make sure everything stays fresh in my head. So anyways, we're still walking along. The thing about this game in particular, due to NES limitations, a lot of areas look samey, so I very much rely on maps in order to get through this game. There was once a time where I was able to do this game without a map, but that was a long time ago. Really long time ago, actually. Honestly, Zero Mission, which was released for the Game Boy Advance, if you can find that, I think that would probably be the better thing to get, because it's better, in my opinion, and in a lot of other people's opinions. It has more to it. It's basically a retelling of the game. Yeah. Alright, so now I'm just going to get the missiles. Also, I will be pausing every so often in the game, but I've edited out most of them, except for the ones where I feel the need to just show you what I'm doing, so you all know and can understand, I suppose, can understand what the heck I'm doing. And also, I forgot to mention it, for those little enemies, if you kill them and they leave a weapon drop, they will not respawn so long as that energy or weapon drop is on the screen. Really helpful tip. You want to ignore those guys, because they can be a real hassle sometimes, and you'll probably see that later on not in this part, I think, but probably when we get to Kraid's Lair. This part is basically just me collecting all the stuff in Brinstar. Yep, yeah, pretty much everything in Brinstar. And, yeah. Now we're walking up another shaft, because this, it just loves vertical corridors in this game for some reason. This game loves vertical corridors, sorry if I have to work on my English, I suppose. And apparently the red versions of those enemies you can kill, but the orange versions of the enemies you cannot. I was in reference to that flying turtle-like thing that I was shooting at earlier. So that's an interesting tip if anybody wants to, if anybody's interested. Yeah, anyway, I'm gonna get off this. Anyways, now we're going to get the long beam, which is, as you might have noticed already, Samus's beam range is pathetically short right now. So we get an upgrade for that. This is the only game that does that aside from Zero Mission, which is basically a retelling of this game. So I'm glad that they got rid of it in later games in the franchise. Sorry if I'm fumbling over my words like a moron. Alright, so with that we have the long beam. And yeah. And we currently don't have any missiles, but we're going to need at least 5 in order to get our next power up. Yeah. So, basically what I'm doing right here is trying to grind for energy and missiles, but I don't spend a lot of time on it, because I decided to just basically keep things moving. Another thing with those flying guys, the one that I just killed, if you, when it goes down, at you, if you jump, you can make it automatically just fly back up. You can use this to be able to, as a strategy to avoid getting hit by those things. No, I don't know why the developers did something like that. Maybe to catch players off guard when they tried to simply jump over it. I don't know. Either way, it works. No clue why, but I use it to my advantage. And also, if you get behind them, for some odd reason, they'll just slowly fly towards the ground, and allowing you to get a lot of shots on them. Again, no idea why, but it works. And I think I paused there a little bit earlier. Yeah, these guys, despite having the most predictable looking pattern, can catch me off guard quite a bit sometimes. And he almost got me right there. Also, as for deaths, I only die on the recordings that you guys are going to see. I only died at least twice, and both of those were on purpose. And then I had one death at the end of the game with the main boss of the game. And again, I'm saying this now because I'm getting really close to energy. I get really freaking close, at least twice in this playthrough, to dying from loss of energy, but I managed to get an energy tank just in time. So yeah, right here I'm just trying to be careful, avoiding getting hit by those things. They're known as rippers, if I recall correctly. Don't know why they're named that, but oh well. And yep, right there I was really close, and right after this I pause and create a restore point, which is basically the Wii U version of save states. Simply because I got so freaking close to just dying right there, and I wanted to make sure that my progress didn't get erased. Because the thing about this game is that death is really, really punishing, because not only do you get your ass sent back to the start of to either the start or the elevator that you popped out of, you're also left with 30 units of energy, irregardless of how many energy tanks you have. The only way to get a full refill is by grinding enemies, which can take forever, or by collecting an energy tank. So yeah, and there's about 8 of them in the game. However, Samus can only have a maximum of 6, so 2 of them serve as simply full energy restores. And yeah. So when you hear this music, it means that you're close to a room with a power-up. I think they've reused this tune, or similar versions of this tune, in later games. And also, most enemies drop pickups of either 5 units of health or 20 units. But then we get to the Metroids later on, and they can drop 30 units of health and 30 missiles, which really is helpful at the end of the game. But we won't be encountering them until the last part, so yeah. It really is quite odd that the creatures that this series is named after, and you only really see them at the end of most of the games. It wasn't until I want to say the Prime games where they really started becoming, well, that and Metroid 2, where they were really around often. So yeah. So now again, trying to find some missiles, and just gonna kill that enemy. Come on, Kyle, get a move on. Okay, I think at this point I just decided to move. Yeah, I don't spend too much time on too many things, and if I do, I usually just I would just edit it out. And this time, it's not going to be like with Batman Arkham City, where there were some pauses that I accidentally left out or I left too long. I looked through the entire recording, spent a few hours actually, to make sure that all the pauses were edited out, or at least most of the pauses were edited out, and any screw-ups were pretty much removed, and things of that nature. So this should be a much cleaner looking run than the post-commentary in Batman Arkham City, which was kind of rushed, honestly, because that wasn't designed around post-commentary. This was designed from I had the idea of post-commentary from the very beginning. Alright, and I believe next up is we are getting bombs, I believe, if I recall correctly. Then after that it should be the ice beam, and then the barrier suit, which I'll be getting early. Which also brings me to another point. If there's a sequence break trick that I know of in a Metroid game, I'm going to use it, and I'm going to use it to my full advantage. Like Metroid Prime, even though I have the player's choice version of the game on the GameCube. Oh wait, we already got bombs. My bad, I had a brain fart. I wasn't paying attention, honestly. We already got bombs, now we're getting the ice beam. My bad. That was embarrassing. I swear I made these videos, guys. Anyways, what I was saying, like in Metroid Prime, I'm going to be getting the space jump boots early by using Jash jumps, and even though I had the player's choice version of the game, I've been pretty consistent about getting it. I'll detail more as to why it matters what version I have in that game. What version I have for that. I'll detail that a little bit more when we actually get to that Let's Play. So yeah, now I'm just trying to grind out missiles and speed up now. I spent about a good minute to 2 minutes doing this, so I just finally decide after this, screw it, I'm just gonna go outside and and see if I can get an enemy with the refill. So yep, and our first victim is right here, bomb, and what the hell? Sorry, I couldn't resist that one. At the time, I found it more funny than frustrating, because it goes like I spend a minute there, and then I pop right back outside the door. The first enemy I kill drops a missile. What the hell? Yeah, the thing about I don't really know how the RNG for this game works when it comes to missiles or missiles to. And that guy was an asshole. To missiles and to. Missiles to energy ratio or RNG thing works, but it feels like when you need missiles it gives you energy, and when you need energy it wants to give you missiles. Or nothing at all. And right here I'm killing myself to save time, because it'll be much faster, and then we can just get right to the start and get a energy tank early. Because, yeah, we're just gonna... Maybe I should have sped this up, actually, now that I'm looking at it. It doesn't take too long, though. See, I'm already almost at the last bit of my health. Alright, now, kill me! Kill me! Is that the best you got? Kill me! Kill me! Oh, come on. Okay. One more hit, and we're good. So, now we're going right back to start. Because this saves on backtracking by a lot. And it's also easier to get the barrier suit from the corridor I'm going to be going up. Now what you should have seen is Samus slowly fade in, but due to the frame rate, that's not going to happen. Alright, so now we're just moving forward once more. And we also have the ice beam, so we can freeze enemies now. If you hit them once with the ice beam, they will freeze, and if you hit them again, they unfreeze. Alrighty then. I'm just killing those guys while I still have the chance. Alright, we're good. So now we're just waiting for them to pop by. This is how I'm going to be able to get this early, because normally to get this energy tank you need the high jump boots, but we ain't got time for that right now, so we're just moving onwards. Alright, and freeze them now. The second one frozen just in case, and that was a screw up. Alright, try again. And I just barely make it, but I got the energy tank early, might add. And now we're going to go get the various suits. This time I know I'm right. And we're also getting that early. You would need the high jump boots, I believe, and I think that's about it actually. But again, the high jump boots are all the way in Norfair, and that's not exactly within our that's not exactly the most ideal path for us to take right now, so we're getting it now. And I believe after the various suit, there's going to be like one missile and energy tank, and missile pack and energy tank, and then we should be done with Brinstar, and then the part will just cut off once we get to once we take the elevator down to Kraid's lair. So yeah, Metroid. Also, for those of you unaware, the name of the bounty hunter is Samus Aran. She was born and raised by Chozo, which are essentially bird people. And she also apparently has some of the DNA from them because genetic splicing or something. I'm not entirely sure how the process went. It was in some obscure manga that never got a release officially outside Japan. So yeah, basically raised by Chozo. She was given their traits, so she's even without the suit, she's much stronger than any human would be normally. And on top of that, the suit just sort of enhances her overall capabilities, obviously. However, in this game, it was never revealed that Samus was a woman until the very end. I know it is kind of a spoiler, I guess, but really, this game. Okay, that's right. I remember I left that in because it was so short that I didn't really feel like taking the time to edit it out. Yeah, whenever I pause, I'm looking at the map or taking a break, but in that case, I was just looking at the map briefly to make sure I was on the right track. I basically had my phone set up as a map. Anyways, on to Samus again. In this game, the difference between the Japanese version of the game manual and the US version and Western version of the game manual is that the Western version actively lied to you about Samus's gender, because it always referred to Samus as a he rather than a she. However, in the Japanese manual, and I'm hoping I'm not using the wrong term for this, I believe gender-neutral pronouns, so it would always essentially refer to Samus as an it. Now, technically that's also not true, but Japan doesn't have any gender-neutral pronouns, so it really doesn't matter. So yeah, localization team were dicks. And the reason why Samus was originally supposed to be male, but then one of the developers asked, what if players played through the game and then found out at the very end that the one they were playing as turned out to be a woman? And so the rest of the story goes that the rest of the dev team took a vote, and it was decided that Samus would be female. So yeah, kind of put in at the last minute, kinda. And then she became one of gaming's most popular and well-recognized female heroines. Yeah. Now, there's a couple ways to do this. One is to use the door glitch. Another is to freeze the Ripper, which I was actually attempting to try and do. Right now, you want to get it up the entire up this passageway, and so that it loads into the next room, or doesn't load into the next room, just is around in the next room. But my trick is that I use bomb jumping. You basically cancel out when you jump in the air, when you lay a bomb, if you press up to unmorph and then jump, don't move left or right at all until the very peak of the jump, by the way, then you'll be able to get enough height and distance to be able to reach that door. It's a little inconsistent sometimes and a little finicky, and the door glitch is essentially you open the door, you let it close in on you, and then you use Morph Ball and jump. You press down to morph, then immediately press jump, and you'll gain a little bit of height. Continue to do that, and eventually you'll be able to get up there. And once you reach near the edge of the screen, press jump a few times to get the screen to move up a bit. Then continue morphing, and then pressing the jump button to continue onwards. Yeah, it's easy to screw up, especially because you can accidentally morph into Morph Ball, and then you'll be stuck, and you'll pretty much be forced to reset the game at that point. So yeah, be very careful with these tricks. Use them wisely. But we had the Various Suit, which doesn't give Samus her iconic shoulder pads like in other games. That wasn't a feature until Metroid 2: Return of Samus, because Metroid 2 was on the original Game Boy, which was black and white. So the only way to tell that you had the Various Suit was basically by changing the design of it, hence the shoulder pads. So yeah. Also, Zero Mission doesn't give Samus shoulder pads either, probably as an homage to the fact that those didn't appear until Metroid 2. But also, another reason why I'm not doing Zero Mission is because A, Nintendo hasn't decided to release it on the Virtual Console for us Americans, and that is the Virtual Console for the Wii U. They haven't decided to do it, And also because, in some ways, Zero Mission makes the series make a little less sense. Because in Metroid Prime, the game that I'm going to be playing after this, you start off with various suits and power beam and 20 missiles, which is kind of close to what you would have had at the end of the game. Pretty much. Also more ball and bombs, which again is kind of close to what you would have had at the end of this game. So also I'm killing myself here and speeding it up this time. So yeah, which is kind of close to what you would have had back at the end of NES Metroid. In Zero Mission, spoiler alert, you get a new suit which gives you the shoulder pads, and also you end off with the gravity suit, as well as the plasma beam, and space jump, and I believe the screw attack. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure about the space jump actually, but I know definitely the screw attack. And those were kind of things that you didn't have. Granted, this game has a screw attack, and you didn't have that in Metroid Prime, but still, it was a bit closer. In other words, in a way. So yeah. That's just my take on it. And this part's going to be ending very soon. We're actually heading down to Kraid's lair. Yeah, and then we're going to be fighting Kraid next part and collecting all the stuff in Kraid's lair. Also, for those of you that want to know, there are 8 energy tanks and 255 missiles total. You can do the math on how many missile packs that is. So yeah, but that is about the end of the parts now. Because next time we're going to face off with Kraid. See you guys next time.